I swear I just saw someone in there. I swear I saw someone moving there. Proper sketchy abandoned farmhouse. Hello everyone, Charlie Cringe here. You join me for today's adventure on a wet, windy and wild day in the UK. It's the afternoon of Tuesday the 27th of January, and today we are travelling on an adventure to an abandoned, sketchy farm. Now before we head off, I want to take us up to the top of the hill near where I live to show where we're going to off in the distance. On today's adventure, we're going to be going over bridges. We're going to be travelling along the UK's most boring and blandest road, and we're also going to be going by a spooky wood. The weather today is absolutely atrocious. The wind is blowing, so apologies for the sound quality on this one, guys. And the rain is pouring down. It's definitely a snorkel and flippers type day. The mud is featuring heavy in my vlogs recently. It's a good job I've got a good pair of walking boots. You can see over there as we make our way up the hill, that's the M1 motorway. You can see the spray that's coming off the tarmac as the vehicles thunder along the carriageways. It's a very, very wet day in the UK today. Cars travelling from the right to the left of your screen are heading south to London, and the ones heading from left to right are moving north to Manchester and Liverpool. You can see in the distance over there, over the motorway in the fields, is the wood, the scary old wood that we're going to be walking alongside later on in the video. We're not allowed to go through it. It's on private land. Maybe in a future vlog. We're nearly at the top of the hill, guys. We've nearly made it. The wind is really blowing up here. And when we get to the top, I'll be able to show you exactly where we're going today on today's adventure. It's so windy up here. You get an amazing view up here though of the area I live in. So, sweeping the camera along from left to right, that's the housing estate I live in. Over in the very far distance, you can barely make it out because of the rain mist, is the city centre. And moving the camera around, you've got the industrial estate right next to where I live. And then as we pan round even further, this is the motorway bridge we're going to be crossing over. That's the noisy motorway. And that is the wood in the centre of the screen we're going to be walking towards. Off we go. Let's see what we can find on today's vlog. So the first thing that we have to do is walk over this motorway bridge. Again, apologies for the sound quality. The motorway is extremely noisy today. Now, along this motorway bridge along here, I can never, oh, there it is. There's a random, super random padlock. There's nothing else along this bridge. For some reason, there is a padlock just chilling on the motorway bridge. coming over the motorway bridge now. We approach a small building site. These are actually construction workers that are helping build the housing estate that you might be able to make out in the distance over there. It's eventually going to come out over here. And that huge mound of earth over there is all of the earth that they have shifted from the construction sites over the other side of the newly built housing estate. They've piled it up there. That's some sandcastle. Now, years ago, I actually climbed up to the top of that huge mound of earth to fly my drone when I had one. And I've actually got a humorous story about that. Wrist! Who are you? Mummy, I'm scared. It's okay, darling. He'll be gone in a minute. I think it's a Banksy. So, the humorous story about my drone actually involves this field here on the right hand side of me. Years and years ago, probably 10 years ago, when drones were just sort of a thing, I purchased one. Not an expensive one, just a cheap budget one. And this field on the right was not as cropped as what it is now. There was easily shoulder length wheat growing in that field. And I came out here because at the time you were not allowed to fly drones around houses and built up areas. Now my drone took off and we had a good 15-20 minutes of flying. Things were going great. Then all of a sudden I lost connection to the drone and it was heading that way. So I had to follow it. So I climbed this fence. I went wading through this field here. It was midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't see a thing what I was doing. I just had to follow the drone. And eventually in the distance, I could see the light of the drone go down where that hedgerow is along there. So I went over and I was searching and searching for at least half an hour. And I was about to give up, and then I could, in the distance, hear the whirring of the blades crying out for me amongst the shrubs. So I then had to hack and slash my way, Indiana Jones style, through all of that shrubbery to eventually locate my drone and recover it. It took me a good hour to recover the drone. And I never flew it out here again for fear of losing it. So this field always reminds me of that mad night in the summer of 2018 trying to locate my lost drone. So earlier on I mentioned travelling along the UK's longest, boring and most blandest road, and this is it. It's long, it's boring, it's straight, there's nothing here. It is literally the most boringest pathway on the planet. Ooh, chicane. Oh, this road goes on forever. Will it ever end? Still travelling along the longest, most boring road ever. It just doesn't end. I wonder if my children will remember me. So we are edging closer and closer to this eerie looking sketchy wood. It's another chicane. So years ago, before this housing estate was built and this road was running along here, these were all fields along here, and I used to actually come running along here quite often. There was rabbits, there was pheasants, and they've all gone. They've all had to be rehomed. beautiful old trees still lining this field. Whether they'll still be here after the housing estate makes its way up here, who knows. So now we come to a junction in our adventure. That way, right, takes us in the direction of my last vlog when I went romping along the muddy fields near where I live. But today's adventure takes us left, and we're going to skirt around the edge of this eerie looking wood. So this massively flooded boggy pathway takes us along the side of the eerie wood and along the middle of two farmers' fields to a country lane leading to two farms. One of them occupied, the other one is believed to be abandoned. This looks super sketchy. Oh, I really want to explore there. Can't do it though. Private property. Squelch, 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 squelch. I am getting major Blair Witch Project vibes from this wood. Hello? Is there anybody in there? Imagine if someone said hello back. Hello? Is there anyone in there? The wind is howling through the trees. I mean, as scary as that wood is, this flooded field, actually quite nice. So, if at all we did want to go into this wood on a future vlog or video, I think I found the entrance. But we are leaving that adventure for another day, and we will continue along this boggy pathway, the bog of eternal stench, because just down here is the country lane we're after. So we've now found the boggiest bit of the path, and I've realised that the farmer's field next to this wood is right up where they're building up to. Now, when I used to come running along here years ago, there used to be a massive tree log that you could sit and chill on for a few minutes. Well, I've just found it. Look what it looks like now. I mean, I think it's been set on fire at some point, but that used to be a huge tree log that you could sit and chill on, and now it's all shriveled up. Well, finally the pathway is getting less and less boggier. You can see at the end here is the gateway to the country lane. There's that beautiful old tree there, and just in the distance you can see the farm that is still in operation and running. So as we travel along the last bit of this boggy pathway, you can see it's actually coming to an end at the bottom. There's the gate that leads to the country lane next to that beautiful old tree, and just beside it in the distance you can see the farm that is still in operation. We don't need that one, we need the one that's along this country lane, the abandoned farm. Look how far we've walked along that boggy old pathway. Now that is a beautiful old tree. I found a meteorite! So now we need to head straight up this pathway, which will lead us to the abandoned farm. It's really sad to see. There's so much abandoned rubbish. Got all those black bags down there. Happens a lot in the UK. People just pull up along old dark country lanes in the middle of the night. Just tip all their old rubbish down there. Now it's becoming a bit of a running theme in my vlogs that I find an abandoned tyre in every one. That's the third one! So as we walk along this pathway, we now found that we are at the rear of that huge mound of earth that you saw at the beginning of the video. We've gone full circle around it. Make that 2 abandoned tyres in this video. We've stumbled across a winding river of fine English tea. Looks a bit milky though. Another tyre. We're nearly there now, guys. Just up this country lane, we will find the abandoned farm. As the rain begins to beat down upon Charlie Cringy's head, I can see it in the distance, guys. I can see the farm. I tell you what, guys, I'm glad that we're doing this in the middle of the day, because this is sketchy enough now. Can you imagine if we were doing this in the middle of the night? No thank you. As the wind howls around us, we're here, guys. We're at the farm. And if I'm being completely honest with you, it doesn't look as abandoned as I thought it would be. We might have been given some misinformation here, because I think old Farmer McGregor, old Mad Eyes McGregor, I think he still resides here. Some very old and rusty looking farm buildings here in a state of disrepair. I can't hear any cattle or anything inside of them. And as we move along, there's some seriously old farm buildings. These look like they could have once been stables of some sort, with cows or horses inside of them. That is a seriously old building. They were definitely old stables. This is where one person thought it was abandoned. This is definitely not used. That's going to be well over 100 years old. You can tell by the brickwork. Danger! Unsafe building! No unauthorised entry! Keep out. I think again this is where the abandoned part of the farm is. I can't imagine anybody lives in there. The windows are all boarded up. It's in a state of disrepair. It's a beautiful old house though. I don't want to go too far up this lane because it might be a private lane, but I just wanted to take one last shot of Old Farmer McGregor's abandoned farmhouse. Definitely abandoned, definitely boarded up. What a great place to explore. Would not want to be hanging around here late at night though. Got a great view of the local countryside. You see those rain clouds up above the trees there, panning along. There's the other side of the industrial estate. You might be able to make out the cars and lorries of the motorway travelling along. I'm going to go underneath that motorway bridge in just a second. Cattle grid! 150 yards! Just got to negotiate this cattle grid. We made it, guys. It's going to go under this very noisy motorway bridge. No swimming. Coming out from the motorway bridge now, guys. Back into the daylight. More rubbish bags. Just chilling in the bushes. So that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you for joining me on today's adventure, where we've walked boggy fields, skirted past eerie, scary, Blair Witch style forests, and ended up at Old Farmer McGregor's abandoned farmhouse. Don't forget to like, share, and leave a little comment on the video. But for now, I'll say goodbye. Take it easy, guys.